day in the life of Peace Lutheran Church. We have just conducted our annual meeting, and things are in place to move forward for 2017. And I chose this text that I just read from you from Matthew because it speaks to this whole concept of ecclesia, or in English, the church. Because you see, this is the day where we're really talking about the church, annual meeting. So this is going to be, for a few moments, the State of the Church homily. Now, this may not be as important as the State of the Union address or the State of the State address, but it is the State of the Church address for Peace Lutheran Church, where all the women are strong, all the men are good looking, and all the children are above average. I've said that a number of times. I want you to really get that in your head. In order to talk about the church, we start with a text that's right in my brain. It's the Transfiguration text. It's from Matthew 17, 1 through 13. And since you've all been going to the book of faith, you could recite that from memory, I know. That was a joke. It's the text where Jesus goes up a mountain, and he's with Jimmy and John, and they're up there, and he's dazzling white, and he's transfigured. And the disciples are in awe of watching him. And then a voice comes from heaven, "This is my own beloved Son. Listen to him." We should probably even have sermon after sermon on this line. Listen to him, you know. Listen to him. But I don't want to focus on that. I'm going to focus on what Peter said. You may not remember this, but once I say it, I think you will. Peter, in the midst of this word that just came, "This is my own beloved Son, listen to him," Peter looks around and says, "Wow. You know, the Transfiguration, Jesus, glad, dazzling white." He said, "Wow." I don't know if it says that in the Bible, but I'm saying it. He says, "This is really neat. Hey, Jesus, let's build 3 tents," other versions say. 3 dwelling places. My version says 3 churches. You see, we could have one for Moses, one for Elijah, one for you. It would be really neat. It would be safe. It'd be secure. It'd be really homey up here. What do you think, Jesus? I'll get to what Jesus said in a minute, because it has to do with the church. A few years ago, Kathy and I found ourselves out east again. We like to go out east. I love the area because I'm from that region, but we went a little further east, and we went to a place that I'm not looking forward to watching today, Boston, Massachusetts. See, I'm hoping the Patriots lose, so I didn't want to speak a lot about it. But anyway, we're in Boston. We're in Boston. And it's the Beacon Hill section of Boston. Has anybody ever been there? You have? Okay. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. We went to this pub. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of beer drinking. It was for lunch. It was called the Bull and Finch Pub. Anybody ever been there? What is wrong with you? It's a great spot. It's right across from the Boston Public Garden. It was a wonderful lunch. We took pictures outside with the sign. You know why I took pictures with the sign? Because right under Bull and Finch Pub, it had a big sign like this, and it said, "Cheers." In other words, it was where the TV show Cheers was filmed. Classic. You all remember Cheers, right? Okay, Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Remember? And everybody's glad you came. And everybody has the same problems. And everybody loves one another, even though they're wacky in their fruits and nuts. That's the church. Isn't it? This is one example of a church where people really care for one another. where everybody knows their name, where it's a good thing, right? This is a good thing. How is Peace doing on that? Good. You are doing well. You kind of know each other. You care for one another. It's beautiful. And we should be doing that. We should. Not that we exclude strangers when they come in. We should welcome them, embrace them. But we should care for one another. Let's get back to the text. So Peter says, let's build 3 buildings here. Because it's nice, it's safe and secure. It's just like Cheers, Peter said. I'm sure it's in the Bible. Okay, what does Jesus say? He didn't build any churches. He didn't have any stained glass windows up there. You know what he said? He says, nah, we got work to do. We got to go down the mountain. That's what he said. He said, let's get the heck off this mountain. We got stuff to do. People to see, people to help, people to feed, which brings me to that next biblical passage. Because Jesus says, you know, you were hungry, gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, you invited me in, I needed clothes, you clothed me. I was sick, you came after me. I was in prison, you visited me. And then the people said, when the heck did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or in prison and visit you? Then Jesus said, well, when you did it to the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you did it for me. We got work to do. We got to come off the mountain. A different vision of the church entirely than the Cheers version. So which one is it? We're going into 2017. Which are we going to be? Are we going to, be the Cheers people? Or are we going to put on a hard hat and a pack of lunch and go help people in need? Which is it? Both. Thank you. It's exactly what we need to do. It's exactly what the church should do. It's exactly what we need to do. We come in here every week and we sit in our pews, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of hurt sometimes, and there's a lot of pain. And we help each other with that, and that's one of the greatest things about being a church. We do. There are some people struggling with big stuff sitting right in the pews. And if we really care, we can help them. And there's people that are outside these walls that have the same kind of hurt and the same kind of pain. And we can help them as well. Back up in Appleton, when I was the pastor of Our Saviors, we had new member classes all the time. I mean, it was just crazy. Because everybody was joining hand over fist. And there were some people I said, it's here for you, but you don't have to join. One gal says, I ain't joining. I don't like to join a church. Got no reason to join a church. Now, I learned later this woman had some bad experiences with church. She was raised a Roman Catholic. There's nothing wrong with that, but she got divorced and she was excluded from that Roman Catholic church, and there was a lot of pain in her heart. And I simply said, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just feel welcome. You don't have to join. It's okay. A couple of days later, she came in the office. She said, Pastor, I'm joining. I said, well, what made you change your mind? She said, I had a call from my nephew whose baby was born with some real serious problems. He's in the intensive care unit, and I was thinking, God, I need some place to call. I need some place to help. I need some place to maybe pray with me. And she said, holy cow, it's been right in front of my face all the time. She said, it's this church. She said, I want to be a part of this church because I want to be able to drive down the street as I pass by the church and say, this is my church, where they care for me, where they know my name, where they help me, and where together we put on a hard hat and carry a lunch pail and help those people in need. So here we go, 2017. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have call committees, going to have all this crazy stuff. It's okay. It's going to be neat. And you got to work. See, Jimmy V If I say the name Jimmy V, do you know what that means? He was a coach. What kind of coach? He was dying of cancer, and he was on a podium. And he said 7 words that have been memorialized forever. 7 words that we could use for us here at Peace about our Cheers ministry and about our Lunch Pail ministry for 2017. Do you know what the 7 words were? What his 7 words that resonated with the world were? Anybody? Don't give up. Don't ever give up. 7 words. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And that's us. Cheers, hard hats. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Amen. Song of the day, Rock of My Salvation.